Welcome to week 6. We are moving right along in the thick of the semester, huh? Okay, grabbed a couple of good posts to read and kind of use for this walk. So Luke had a good point that let's see, regarding is it possible that we could be living in one big dream? There was a disagreement about basically, could we know? I think the best way to argue that we might be living in one big dream is basically the way Luke did it, which is to say, so here's a part of it. I feel there's a chance that this is one big dream and we think is reality. That's the way you'd argue for it, right? So then the things that we call dreams, the thing we call sleeping would be like a dream within a dream. If you've seen the movie Inception, it is that, right? And that's the kind of thing that'd be very hard to argue your way out of, to show that it's impossible that what we call reality isn't just a big dream. It's definitely actually related to one of the other things that came up, idealism, right? The external world doesn't exist. All that exists are just ideas in our heads or in God's head. If God exists, this is George Barclay, Bishop George Barclay, he's one of the defenders of this, right? So you could pull God into it. So that would be kind of like saying the world is one big dream. But from a completely different kind of reason. It would be because of this whole worry about can we actually interact with reality, or are we stuck with only ever knowing our own sense data? So a couple of good posts regarding that. Just because, this comes from Rain. She thinks just because there appears to be two fingers when you're looking at. Hopefully you did that actual process where you look at your finger and then you look at something behind your finger. Just because there appear to be two doesn't mean that you're not actually looking at your finger and it just appears to be two. That's the kind of thing that Thomas Reid would say, right? One of his better examples is regarding that knife, right? So one way to experience a knife is ouch, it cut me, right? So the way the knife appears to you is just pain, right? But that doesn't mean it's not an experience of the knife. So your experiences of things don't have to be as they are in themselves. And that might be what's happening with the finger. But yeah, so on the other side, Bailey had a good post about this. You can never experience physical objects directly. You can only interact with the mental representation, which has been constructed by the brain via your senses. Yeah, so that's the type of problem, right? We know, in fact, that all our sense experiences are sense experiences, right? It's not like the tree is actually in my head. And in fact, we can even kind of use our imagination to kind of experience things that don't even exist. I can have like Harry Potter-like experiences. Harry Potter's not in my head. Harry Potter doesn't even exist, right? So there are definitely still mysteries regarding how it is that we perceive things, how it is that we think about things. And we could go on and on in doing philosophy on that topic, but I'll leave it at that. You did a great job this last week. Now we're moving into the actually, I think, always popular week of Does God Exist? So we're going to do basically we're going to focus on philosophical arguments. The main ones, probably the main one we don't really get to is the argument from consciousness. But that's a hard one. We're actually going to, in a sense, come back to it when we talk about consciousness and what is a person and all that. So, all right, let's do that.